Two of the original Trekkies, he and his wife Donna, plan to renew their wedding vows with a full Star Trek-themed ceremony. He'll wear an admiral's dress uniform, and she will be decked out in a custom-made leather and lace Klingon wedding dress. He has also got a couple Two Tree books for sale. Please welcome Steve Bellinger.
When I wear that admiral uniform, it'll be the only time I outrank her.
In studio with me is a former radio disc jockey, now a novelist. His name is Steve Bellinger. His first published novel, is called The Chrono Car. It's a science fiction tale set in Bronzeville, set across more than a century. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Explain to people how you're a former radio guy. You got very few people wear the headphones in here because I don't take phone calls.
Oh, absolutely.
You go, wait a minute, Rick. I'm a former radio guy. I'm wearing headphones.
Well, I'm an alum of IIT, and so I did radio on WIIT for 4 years.
What kind of show?
There weren't very many black students there then.
Yeah.
So I had the only soul.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah. It was very popular. In fact, I got an award for that 1 year.
That's fabulous. You should get an award for this book too.
The story is about a time traveler, but it's the black experience. I mean, if it were written by an Asian person, it would be an Asian take on it. You know, he goes back to turn of the century Bronzeville, and he gets involved in the big race riot that takes place in 1919.
Was that the beach one, or is that?
Yeah, well, it started on the beach.
On the beach,
exactly.
Okay, right. Okay,
and you know, and the thing is, we talked about how you can't take the science out of science fiction. Well, you can't take the black characters out of this story because it is about the black characters.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not necessarily written for black people.
Sure.
I mean, because a lot of the people who've read it are not black, and they've enjoyed it. Sure. May I mention my second book, which was just released this summer? The Edge of Perception, which is a paranormal science fiction love story.
Ooh.
It starts
Does
with
it get tawdry and steamy, like Altered States?
No, only just a tiny bit.
Oh,
just a tiny bit.
Oh, he's ready for it.
So you have ghosts, you have demons, all sorts of interesting things, and both of these are going to be audiobooks probably by next year. I'm hoping.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Are you reading them yourself?
Get Samuel,
No.
Get Samuel L. Jackson to do it. He does a great job. On
But no, I only use that word once in this book.
We can get.
In the last session, we had talked about your two books, The Chrono Car and The Edge of Perception. Your third book is, if I get this correct, Apocalypse. Is that correct? So tell us about that one.
Okay, well, Apocalypse, the digital dystopia is coming. It's a story that, again, people have reviewed it, and they're really taken aback by it. Because it's about what's happening now. People are addicted to their cell phones, to their video games. There's a device that comes out of a virtual reality viewer that everybody wears. In fact, it gets to the point where it's required by law.
Steve, so glad to have you back. Tell us a little bit about yourself again.
Well, I am a science fiction writer. I was born and raised on the west side of Chicago.
West side?
And my mom, single mom, raised us, and she worked for a printing company. She would bring books and magazines home for us, and that's how we learned how to read. Well, one day she brought a book by Isaac Asimov, I, Robot. I read that and fell in love with science fiction. And since then, I've always wanted to write. And I've written everything from radio drama, fan fiction, Sunday school lessons, newspaper articles, and The Chrono Car is my first novel.
Very nice, really. So now, Chrono Car actually helps us to understand the most violent summer in Chicago 100 years ago.
Well, yeah, exactly. When I decided to write a time travel story, I had to have something to focus it on. In my research, I found out about this riot. I had never heard of it before. And I found out that a lot of people learned about the riot the first time reading my novel.
Wow.